What are the problems facing organizations in managing their workforce, and what can they do about it? This topic is discussed in an article titled Manage Your Workforce Ecosystems, Not Just Your Employees by Altman, Kiran, Schwartz, and Jones. It was published in MIT Sloan Review, Summer 2023 edition. Now, who constitute your workforce? A study was conducted by interviewing several top-level executives. Some of them stated that it was just their employees, their fill-in part-time, whereas others, a lot many of them said, well, it also includes our contractors, contingent workers, and partners. So, in totality, all of this staff is helping the organization deliver value. Typically, and in most cases, decentralization is how organizations operate, meaning specific teams hire specific contractual staff, for example, so they can work for them in their local context, add some value, and this is all done in a decentralized way. And the problem is, as these different, even self managed teams engage these workers independently, these efforts are often uncoordinated. Now, what are some challenges in managing workforces like these? Number one, there is variance in management practices. Then there are technology systems that are different technology systems are used to manage different types of staff. Yes, there are efficiencies that are realized locally, but across the entire organizations, there are inefficiencies and inconsistencies. So, what to do about it? The authors say that organizations can use a centralized integration architecture. Now, what this means is you have a cross functional team that contains staff from several uh, several silos or departments, and therefore the entire workforce can be orchestrated. Novartis used a centralized task force which managed 100,000 internal employees and 50,000 external employees. NASA has already simplified six uh, job marketplaces that can help employees to be matched to specific projects to one. They eventually plan to roll this out to external contractors as well. Likewise, Salesforce has found value in using a centralized task force, but it's not without its challenges. Remember, lots of workforce transformations are still in their nascent stages, meaning we simply don't know fully what benefits these transformations can yield. Likewise, there are challenges with identifying the right stakeholders. How can stakeholders who typically operate at an organizational level, how can they work with local workforces? And how can an organization's transformation vision, how does that apply to a local context? And where there is a transformational hypothesis and there is some learning that is realized on a local level, how can that be harmonized across the organizations? How do transformations emerge over time? And finally, there are always key issues that are specific to organizations. For example, structural designs, politics, culture. Example of culture could be, how do employees derive identity? How can they feel included? Politics is about access to resources, power, status, and structural design is about the unique hierarchies that are found within organizations. So there are four phases to create a workforce ecosystem. One is to identify an organization team. We've already covered this in terms of identifying relevant stakeholders, and then to test the the transformation hypothesis, do experiments on local teams. There are some learnings. Make sure these learnings are coordinated and circulated to all the other teams. And how do you scale across multiple teams? So, this is the approach to literally drive the workforce transformation. So, for more details, you may refer to this book by Workforce Ecosystems. I leave a link to the article as well as a book in the description. Thank you.